On this episode of Cox Connections, hardy oysters are a sign of a strong ecosystem and are the foundation of health for the Chesapeake Bay. Through its Oysters for Life initiative, the Oyster Company of Virginia enlists the help of local watermen to sustain the growth of oysters native to the Bay, while helping to create jobs for the industry. Be a part of the youth movement in Hampton Roads. Teens with a Purpose is empowering young people every day by providing the platform to showcase their talents in order to effect personal change, improve the lives of their peers, and foster a sense of community. Find out how teens are inspiring other teens to develop to their fullest potential. 2011 marked the introduction of the Employee Grant Program, where Cox employees were able to nominate and vote for nonprofit organizations to receive funding from our philanthropic initiative, Cox Charities. Today, you'll learn more about one of those grant recipients, the Downtown Hampton Child Development Center, as well as meet the employee who holds this organization near and dear to his heart. Stay tuned. Cox Connections is next. Welcome back to Cox Connections, a program that provides up-to-date information on events that affect you, our customers. When we opened up Cox Charities to our employees and allowed them to nominate the charitable organizations that were important to them, the response was overwhelming. In the end, Cox Virginia awarded a total of $20,000 to 10 employee-chosen nonprofit organizations across Virginia. David Denton, a manager for Cox Business, nominated the Downtown Hampton Child Development Center, which was recently a beneficiary of a Cox Charities grant. Joining him is Melissa James from the DHCDC. Thanks for being here, both of you.
Thank you.
David, I have to ask the question, how did you get involved with the Child Development Center in Hampton?
Well, about 4 years ago, my wife actually joined the board at the Downtown Hampton Child Development Center through the Junior League of Hampton Roads. And then, of course, supporting my wife, I then started getting involved in supporting some of the events like Blast Off and the fundraising breakfast and so on.
So talk about why you wanted to get involved with the Cox Charities grant program, and how did that process work?
Well, both of my parents, as well as a lot of my aunts and grandmothers, they're all educators. So I'm kind of the black sheep of the family, where I moved away from education. So education has been a big part of my life and my family's life, and I do see the importance of early childhood development. So I couldn't think of a better charity than to support the Downtown Hampton Child Development Center.
And so the process, you had to actually create a commercial, I guess, to get people to side with you and support you in this effort. And I think do we have that commercial? Can we show that?
I'm David Denton, Cox Business Operations Manager. Did you know most of a child's brain develops in the first 5 years of life? Did you know most parents can't afford child care that offers high-quality preschool? I didn't know until I got involved with Downtown Hampton Child Development Center. Their tuition is based on income, so parents pay what they can afford. And their preschool program is one of the best in Virginia, with college-educated teachers. They help our area's most deserving children succeed when they get to kindergarten and beyond. Please support my charity, Downtown Hampton Child Development Center.
Vote for us. You make a lot of children happy. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Well, that was outstanding, David. You have a new future. We're going to have you do some regular commercials for us. Melissa, congratulations to you for winning the grant. And for those who may not know what the Downtown Hampton Child Development Center does, to give us a little overview.
Well, we are a nonprofit, of course, and we're a child care center and preschool. We serve children year-round, all day, which is not something that every child care center does, unfortunately. We serve up to 200 children, ages 6 weeks to 5 years. We are a United Way agency, which is something we're also very proud of, and we have the only sliding scale tuition rate on the peninsula, which allows parents to pay based on income and need, which is also very unusual because childcare is very expensive, and we make it possible for parents to work or attend school.
So talk about what's the mission of the CDC? What's the center really trying to do?
Well, in a nutshell, making quality childcare affordable. full mission statement for us is to nurture young children by providing affordable, quality care that develops the whole child and fosters school readiness. And those are all very important aspects of really giving a quality child care program.
I mean, it's so important, and maybe you can speak to this, about why it's important to reach a child early. I mean, I think we saw, I mean, the 90% of the brain, David, develop before the age of 5. But why is that so important?
Well, you know, kindergarten has changed in the past couple of decades, and the things that children used to learn in kindergarten, they're now expected to know already on the first day of school. And so we really need to focus more than ever on early childhood, where it's such a critical window of opportunity, where if children don't learn certain things during that time period, they might not learn it at all. I never learned left and right when I was younger.
And we're showing a chart here. I
Now.
mean, as a business person, I mean, every dollar invested in preschool, there's a huge return. And so there's a huge payback when we're spending this money on the front end.
Sure. For every dollar invested in quality preschool for an at-risk child, the expected return is actually up to $17. So that's a huge return.
So can you give us an idea of how, again, David went through this and got all the support and you were able to get the grant. So how is the grant money going to be used?
Well, mostly for child care subsidies, tuition subsidies for our families. You know, the average family we serve pays about $3,000 a year, which is very low, and the cost to us is $8,000 per year per child. So that's a big gap that we have to make up. So getting support from the community, and certainly a grant like the one that Cox has so generously given to us, is now allowing us to provide the materials and the top quality teachers that we have, and all those things cost money, and we want the children to have the best experience they can so they start kindergarten prepared. And our children were so thrilled to find out that Cox was so happy for them and wanted to make a difference for their lives that they actually put together a couple little gifts here. This one is it's a paperweight, or or it could be a coaster, depending on how you want to use it. And because you did make them smile, they've done a happy face here, and it's still a teeny bit wet. And they picked the materials themselves. And then we also have a certificate that we hope you will display with as much pride as we have received the gift, and they're holding up a sign that says thank you in this photo.
Well, Melissa, I know we only have just a minute or two left, but when you get beyond the statistics, we've talked about a few already, there have to be some real stories behind what you're doing and lives that you're changing. Absolutely. What are some of those stories? One
that really comes to mind is a little boy named Brandon. His father was a city employee and did landscaping for the city, and his father was a single father and couldn't afford child care. Mm-hmm. And so he had to hide Brandon in his truck under a blanket whenever someone came by while he was working, and bring him around with him. And the day he found out about us and came in, and when we told him what the tuition was going to be for his son, he was weeping. And you just don't forget a moment like that.
Wow. I mean, that's just an incredible thing. And the payoff. You figure that investment today, 20 years down the road, what that child is going to be able to do as a young adult, and the payback and the contributions of it's just tremendous. So if I'm listening to this and I want to get involved, I want to do more to help with the Downtown Hampton Child Development Center, how do I contact you? Can I make donations? How do you do that?
We always welcome support. Our website is a great place to start, www.dhcdc.org. And you can always call us at 825-6200, but pretty much there's not much that we don't need, as far as the support.
Thank you for all that you're doing. And David, thank you for really stepping up to the plate, getting involved with Cox Charities and reaching out to help a great organization in our community. And thank you for joining me on this episode of Cox Connections. Before you go, I want to personally thank you for choosing Cox Communications for your entertainment, information, and communication needs. We know you could have chosen another provider, but because you chose us, we pledge to be your friend during these trying economic times. We promise to provide you with quality products backed up by a talented local team of professionals that will help you stretch your dollar. And from all of your friends and neighbors here at Cox, we thank you again for choosing us and for joining us on this edition of Cox Connections.